Hi everyone, welcome to my show. I'm Lei. H&M and other Western brands are recently cancelled in China over their announcement to distance themselves from Xinjiang cotton for concerns of forced slave labor there. Last week, China's People's Daily published a strongly worded article titled, "Making Profits Out of Us While Playing Dirty. H&M, you should think it over." The article criticized H&M for dancing with anti-China forces and called H&M utterly stupid and extremely despicable. Almost all major Chinese media outlets simultaneously launched a media campaign to cancel H&M in the name of defending Xinjiang cotton. Other brands named in the boycott include Nike, Adidas, Burberry, and New Balance. Chinese netizens also identified more brands who have made similar comments or statements over concern of forced labor in Xinjiang. Dozens of Chinese celebrities have announced cutting ties and canceling contracts with these boycotted brands. Shares of H&M, Burberry, Nike, and Adidas all fell last week. Adidas suffered the most significant decline, with shares dropping 6.7% during the week ending March the 26th. Everything happened so quickly that it seemed overwhelming. Is Xinjiang cotton the real issue here? Something tells me that it's not. First, the timing of this entire drama is odd. H&M issued its statement 5 months ago, in October last year. Like H&M, many of the brands targeted by the Chinese are members of the Better Cotton Initiative, or BCI, which promotes sustainable cotton production. BCI announced last year that it was suspending support of its member companies sourcing cotton from Xinjiang, a region where the Chinese Communist Party has detained more than 1 million Uyghurs in concentration camps. International brands such as H&M, Gap, Nike, and Uniqlo have released statements over the past 2 years condemning forced labor or distancing themselves from these allegations. Why did the Chinese government react now? What the Chinese government is reacting to is not H&M or its position on Xinjiang cotton, but rather the sanctions announced by the United States, European Union, United Kingdom, and Canada on March the 22nd against certain Chinese officials and their involvement in the persecution of Uyghurs in Xinjiang. It's the first time since Tiananmen Square massacre that the UK and European nations sanctioned the Chinese Communist Party officials. And this greatly annoyed Chinese Communist leaders. So now that Chinese citizens are mobilized to boycott these Western brands, is the Chinese government happy? The day after the People's Daily article was published, on March 26, Chinese Premier Keqiang visited Jiangsu province, the Chinese province that hosts the most foreign companies in China. In particular, he visited the German chemical company BASF in Nanjing. This company is a company that provides materials to Nike and Adidas for their production of shoes. What's also interesting is that the state-controlled media was silent on Li's tour of Jiangsu. Only after Chinese netizens uncovered the relationship between BASF and Nike and Adidas and posted the information online did CCTV, the state-controlled TV network, report Li's visit to Jiangsu. Li's visit to a Western company that provides raw materials to Nike and Adidas, which are being boycotted, is very interesting. The same is true with the Chinese official media's initial silence. This could mean two things. The first is that there is political infighting within the top leadership in China. One faction wants to escalate the boycott, and the other wants to tone it down. This division is also evident in the Chinese media. On the same day that the Chinese premier visited BASF, Global Times, a Chinese government-controlled media, published an opinion titled, "Now Bad People Have Infiltrated the Masses," that resisted H&M. The article claims that some Chinese celebrities' strongly worded reactions seemed to have been scripted. The second possible explanation is that the Chinese officials are greatly concerned with the consequences of the boycott. They initially only wanted to target H&M, but didn't expect it to escalate to dozens of brands. Chinese Premier Li Keqiang is in charge of the economy and understands the consequences of losing foreign investments. His visit to Jiangsu may be intended to send a reassuring signal to foreign companies in China. Chinese official media claimed that its H&M article quickly gained 100 million views and triggered millions of comments, resulting from Chinese people's patriotism. I checked and found that the most common rhetoric is, "My country's best interest is higher than anything else." However, take a look at this video filmed in the city of Changsha outside a Nike store. It tells us something else. There have been other reports about long lines in front of the boycotted stores in various cities. This video was taken in front of an Adidas store. The woman's comment is translated. Please take a look.
抵抗这个，抵抗那个，看看阿迪这些人啊，里头全是人，限流不让进。哎呀，哎，牛吗？
Some of these stores offer discounts. One Chinese netizen joked that 30% is all you need to counter a boycott. Within 2 days following the People's Daily's article, Nike announced the sale of 2 new shoes on a major Chinese e-commerce platform, Tmall. 337,000 people booked pre-sale before sales began, and the shoes were completely sold out within seconds. Some Chinese netizen asked, "Where is the boycott?" It was reported that even pre-owned Nike Duck Series shoes were sold out. A Chinese online survey asked 7,400 Chinese consumers if they would buy Nike's high-end shoes when a deep discount is offered, assuming Nike doesn't apologize to China. 45% said yes, and 38% said no. And 17% said they would wait and see. You can watch my last video on how the Chinese love foreign brands and why they copy them. It explains why the Chinese government can't really ban foreign brands in China. I'll keep watching how this unfolds and keep you updated. Thank you for watching.